absolutely terrible for forgetting to record things, but welcome back to a new video. Please hit the subscribe button if you find this or any of our content interesting. Hit the thumbs up button, switch your notifications on, and don't forget to leave a comment because we do read them and they do get answered. So noise in the background is obviously tanks, but the AC unit's kicked on because I've had the front door open. I'm just going to flip the camera around and show you what we're up to and what we've been doing. It's sort of continuation from last week. So as I says, the AC unit's on. We've started stripping down this rack. I still need to move my mixed and I still need to move my blues, but I've got an idea for that. So we've taken these two tanks out. I've currently got one of those in the house, giving it a good clean. I've set one up over here. There's a gap big enough to put one sideways, but I think what I'm going to do with that is move that one sideways, just simply because the pipe work's already there to sort of put the lid in how it wants to. And because it's got a background on that's a matte filter, if I put that to the left, I then get to see more of the tank. So that's the plan with that. And then once this is all in, I'm going to box it all in. I've had to use Aquasolum, and I'll explain why. One, because it's not a leaching. I've used a couple of sponge filters that were recycled out of that tank already. And this tank and this tank have only got a few shrimp in, and they are on Aquasolum. So the plan is that because these are quite big tanks, I'm going to move those small colonies into the smaller tanks for now. That will free up 2 tanks for me, and that will give me the opportunity to then move my mixed tank. The blues are still going to go over there, although the mix might go there actually. But the blues are going to go over there. That was the original plan. I do need to take a bit of algae out of there. And I'm half tempted, if I'm honest, to move the low-grade fancies over there because they are known to eat algae and blues don't. So if I do that, then the blues will move into one of these tanks and my mixed will move into either this tank or that tank. So I haven't decided yet, but what that gives me then is that gives me sort of full reign, because I'll have that tank missing, which I want. So I want to drop 2 of these tanks. My mixed tank will be empty but sort of gone. And then what I'll probably do is I'll probably move the last few Amano into the house tank, and I wanted to drop this down to a 6 rack tank. So that gives me the ability to do that, and I'm sort of quite pleased. But I've still got quite a bit to do. I need to move this out. I need to empty these. I need to move them shrimp across. I need to drain these tanks. I need to start moving this stuff across and just sort of crack on from there. I'm a little bit tempted with some of my low boys to cut out the glass with the filter built into it and just use UGF boxes, but I haven't made my mind up yet. I may do. But a little start to this week. Plenty to do. Keep you updated, and I'll pick you up in the next clip. Short update from the previous portion then. So I've got one more tap to put in, one more float valve, which I've got here. Just need to get that done, and everything else is sort of plumbed in. What I have done, I hadn't planned on doing this, but what I have done is the UGF box that we'd cycled for a bare bottom tank. I've decided to use that in this tank for now. I have dropped a bit of soil trying to get that in. I'm not sure if I'm going to siphon that out, but I think I'm going to put in there either my Orange Eye Red Devils or my Dragon Bloods. It is a different soil than they're on at the moment, but I will drip those in. And what we've done on the end tank then is we've given it a bit of a clean. The back glass needs cleaning, and we've sort of moved that over, and you'll see what I mean about the matte filter. Sorry, I'm tripping over the cables here. What I did notice though is behind the matte filter we've got an orange eye blue, so he's managed to get in there and stay in there for a bit. I might have others in there, but I will try and get him out and put him with his brethren. And I'll just leave these overnight just to sort of get to temp. I don't heat the tanks, I heat the room, these are literally, I've filled the bin up today with cold water from the Bosch outside from the water butt. So have a look at some tangerine tigers there, that are a little buried one, but these are doing well. You'll notice that I've also got an assassin snail in here who keeps them under control, so I need to take those shells out. There's quite a few of them actually, but I've got a bit of an explosion of snails in here, so I'm going to leave them in there for now. And then what I have done is I've dropped some Milli-1 bacterial powder in these, and because I've only just put water in them, I've actually dosed directly into the tank with the remineralizer, brought it up to sort of 140, 150, and as I say, I'll leave it overnight. And then, so the plan for tomorrow is I'm going to move the orange eye red devils. I'm going to move the dragon bloods. I think I'll put the dragon bloods in the tank with the UGF box, and then I'll give that a bit of a clean. I'm probably not going to move the blues into that. I'm probably going to move the low grade fancies, and I'll probably put the blues in here, just simply because they're very algae. The blues don't eat algae, I've mentioned it earlier, but the fancy tigers do. They seem to sort of get on that big time. So I'm probably done for today. I'll probably finish the plumbing, just get that last float valve into this tank, and then we're sort of done from this tank perspective. I may have a go at something, just boxing these in, just to sort of give you guys an idea of the sheeting that I want to use, only about a £5, just to give you guys an idea of sort of what I want to do and sort of block the racks in and close the racks in. But I'll sign off again. Speak to you guys soon. Take care. Continuing on, a day or two later, we've now got everything moved off this rack. So the middle two tanks are now there and have been reset. I moved out of this tank the orange eye red devils, which are currently up here or hiding on the sponge filters, and I also moved out from here the dragon bloods. So the dragon bloods are now in a smaller tank. I did turn the tank sideways just to sort of fill the top rack up, and I do need to clean the back. I did notice that in the back of here somewhere, is that in there? No. I did notice in the back of here somewhere there is an orange eye blue tiger, so he needs to go down there. And then what we've done is we've moved the blues over to here. I've moved off the tall rack my pintos. PRL are there. I moved my mix down to here, and they're demolishing algae at the moment. They've just been fed actually. So these are my mixed galaxies, and then I moved my higher grade fancy tigers down here. So again, they have been fed, but they are demolishing the algae. And then we move the pure black line over to here. So from a fill perspective, this rack is complete, and I just need to now box that in. So plans for the rest of the weekend or week are to clear this rack down. So I need to drain, clean, take all these tanks out. I'll move the dark frog. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that little tank, because the stuff in there was for my daughter, but I might have an idea. And then, as I said, we've moved out the spotted pintos. So the plan will be to move that tank down there, catch those shrimp and move them down there, move that tank down there, and just keep working my way through. Now I'm only taking 6 of these tanks across, so I'm going to have 2 Neo tanks. I'll probably put the reds and the Amano together, but if the Amano get aggressive, I'll move them out, and then I'll lightly move all of my snails out of there into there, and I think I'm going to end up with the Coolie Loach in a house tank, but we'll have to wait and see. And it's sort of moving and moving and moving, you know, drain one, fill it up, drain one, fill it up, drain one, fill it up. So loads to do, and once it's done, then it will sort of open the room out to sort of full width. It'll be sort of that width, and it'll help me get around a bit. On top of that, I do need to redo the way the air pipe works. So I think what I'm going to do is take the air pump down and have a T-piece up here in between the two tanks, just to sort of give me easier access to that really. And what I'm probably going to do is, if you can probably see down there, I've got an extension socket, and I'm probably going to screw that up onto the wall as well. But work in progress. We're just going to keep going as long as my back holds out, which I never know. I am sort of leaving these tanks for a day, I think, or the rest of the day, just to see if I can spot any stragglers before stripping them down. But ultimately, once this rack's then turned the other way, these 4 tanks will go onto that, but I am going to turn them sideways. So I've had 2 of these sideways before, and it's just going to be loads better. So that's the plan. They have to go in at the side of the rack, so I'll put them in empty and then put the rack in place. So I've been there, done that before. So just an update, but yeah, looking good. You know, everything sort of seems to be doing well. I've moved tanks of these over yesterday, no fatalities. I didn't drip them. I just didn't have time. I literally did a sort of plop and drop, and away they went. So we'll see. I'm just looking at floating food here. I wasn't sure I'd put one in, but I've obviously put 2 in, so I'll need to take one of those out. But here's one of the dragon bloods anyway. So look forward to speaking to you on the next bit. And we're off. So I've currently moved the frog tank by my desk, which is absolutely brilliant actually, because when I'm sitting there you can just watch them and they hop out and stuff. And then if we sort of move around, so the top tank's been moved from here. I'm currently, excuse the mess, I'm currently topping up onto that shelf. I'm going to lower that top shelf down a bit, but I need to raise it in order to get the next tank in. And then the plan is we'll move these shrimp down into that one once it's set and stable, and then we can repeat the process and move that one down, and then that one, and so on and so forth. So I think that I'm going to have the Neos on the top shelf. So what I'll probably do is move that one, then move those 2, because the bottom 2 tanks are going to be empty anyway, and the reds are going to go in with the Amanos for now. So it's currently Monday, roughly 7:30 p.m. Yesterday and today I've done quite a lot. I'm absolutely dying in pain at the moment, so I don't know how much I'll get done tomorrow. So we've set this rack up. I've got stuff in the way, but I've moved the low-grade fancy tigers down there. The pure white lines have gone down there, and I've changed my mind a little bit. So what I'm going to do is put they're called scaper tanks, these are. I'm going to put the scaper tanks in the middle and then low boys on the top. So I've started and moved one across. I haven't moved anything into it yet. I need to catch the rest of the orange and move those over, and I need to take some of the, well, I will take the substrate out and just gently lower it back into this tank. And then the idea is, if I put my Neocaridina here, then they're a lot easier for me to work on and catch. And looking at these top tanks, they're not as high as they were before, which is why I want to lose a couple. They're the sort of same height as there, so they're sort of a working distance, or working height, should I say. Tomorrow I'm hoping to finish catching those, and then that tank's getting stripped, so that one's not, that's going to get put away. I've gifted those to somebody, and then you know this from before, I need to take the shelving out to get to the next set of tanks. I have got a UGF box of soil that's already cycled from this tank, and I'll keep that sort of moving and just ticking over, so that when I do this rack eventually, I can sort of get that done. And I think what I'm going to do is slightly lift that bottom shelf up, so a little bit higher. And then what I want to do is, I only want 3 shelves. And what I'm going to do is put a scaper on the bottom, a low boy, so these ones, and then similar sort of this sort of height. I want my frog tank, and there will be 2 frog tanks, but I haven't built the other one yet. And then there's just so much to do. This rack that's behind, this sort of stock rack, that's going to come out completely, and I'll move stuff around. I do need to move the air pump, and I need to change the way the air feeds work on this. So I'm probably going to put an elbow in, or a T-piece. So if I put a T-piece in there and a pipe down, have the air pump sort of down on the deck, on the, you know, underneath on the bottom shelf, something like that. And because the air pipe is above the tanks, I won't get any backflush. It will never sort of flood. But yeah, loads done. I don't know how much I'm going to get done tomorrow. I'm going to take some pain meds in a second, and just chill for the night, because I'm just absolutely shattered. I'm using water like it's going out of fashion, because I'm actually doing 100% water changes on these, or 99%. And I've started using my trusty drums, because I can't get enough out of my water butt. But I'm filling those up as well. I'll fill the water butts up. I'm hoping to get this done by the end of this week, if possible. So I'm just going to keep going. You know, I'm just going to keep going. So just something to mention. I did say that I was going to put my mixed colony and my low to medium grade fancy tiger colonies up for sale. I counted over 270. I think it was 283 in the mixed tank. There's 170 odd of the other ones, and although I'm not selling them as a complete lot at this point, I've got them on the website, and they're quite reduced to what I'd normally sell them at. So if anyone wants to grab a bargain, then they're there to grab a bargain. But just a little update. If I get anything done tomorrow, I'll video it and I'll update you guys. But this tank here, just quickly. So this tank here, what I'm going to do with this tank is I'm going to move the Amano. Now I've got a little trick. I siphon some substrate out, and I tip the water away from that, then I put it in the jug and lower it in. So although it will go a bit cloudy, it won't go sort of super cloudy. And that's how I sort of move the substrate around. And I've done that with that black substrate with the oranges are on. So hopefully I can get this emptied tomorrow. Get that took out, because that's not going in at all. Move these reds over. I'm not sure if I'm going to... I might even move those in with my black galaxies. I'm not sure yet, or put them up here. I don't know. But move those over. And then if I move that tank up to here, I can put my reds in there with the Amano, and then my bloodshots down there will go up into that tank up there. So I have planned it. It's taken a lot out of me, if I'm honest, but I'll cut there, see how we get on tomorrow. It's currently Wednesday morning. Welcome back if you've managed to stay tuned in for this long. So we've got everything sort of sorted over here, as you're aware. I do need to top up a couple of tanks with RO for evaporation, and we're still in the process. So excuse the plants there for something else, but we've moved the oranges over to here. I'm about to start moving some substrate over from the Amano tank. So what I'll do is I'll siphon into a bucket, tip off the excess, put it in a jug, gently lower it in there. I might need to take some water out and sort of repeat that process. I will need to catch the Amanos first and put them in an escape-proof tub, just because they like to climb. And we've moved over the red galaxies, and this tank is just filling up. I need to dose that, and what we'll move over into there are the bloodshots down on the bottom shelf. So we're sort of cracking on. The plan is that I'll clean, once that tank's out, I'll clean that. I have gifted those to a friend. There's a couple of them that I'm going to drop, and a friend's offered to take those. And The reds at the bottom will probably be the trickiest, but I think what I'm going to do is, if I move the bloodshot, strip that tank to store it, I might save the substrate, I'm not sure yet, if I can sort of keep that going long enough to be able to set it up on the new rack, or when I move that rack. And the reds will go in here with the Amanos. I'll keep an eye on any aggression, and if there is aggression, I'll move the Amanos into the house. But cracking on. So just slow and laborious, to be honest, but thanks for staying tuned. If you've stayed tuned for this long, I might do another update at the end of the day, but we'll see how it goes. So onwards and upwards. And just like that, there's one left. So I say so many times. The bloodshots have been moved up to here, counted about 85 across. And if you notice in the back, what I've done is I've filled some bags with filter medium. I thought I had some stickers on this of what was in there. I'll probably have it, it's probably down the side. No, I can't get to it. So I filled some bags with filter medium from the last tank. I know that's Master Soil Large, this is Master Soil Large, and I've literally put those bags in the top, in the back of those filter compartments. So in good old Blue Peter style, they do make a bit of a, not a splash, but they do kick up a bit of mess. But all I'm trying to do here is just preserve some substrate for when we eventually do set those up. And one of the ways I am going to do that is literally just leave a bag in here so there's a bit of flow near the filter off it. Might need to turn that around. Like I say, it does create a bit because it is just soil. I haven't done anything with it. It's literally just soil, but the shrimp, it'll settle quick enough, and the shrimp will sort of munch on that and sort of graze that and have a mooch over that. And the last ones to do then are the red Neocaridina, and if you remember from previously, the red Neocaridina are going to go in there with the Amanos. There's only half a dozen Amanos. I'll keep an eye on aggression. Worst case scenario, I'll put the Amanos in the house tank. So all my snails are over there. I do believe I've lost a snail because I can smell something funky, but I think I know which one it is, so if I can isolate it, I'll take that out and put it in the bin. So Thursday evening-ish, sort of 6-7 p.m, and Fridays are always busy for us, but if I don't have any post, and we can get our shopping, well, I can take the wife grocery shopping early, I'll just sit in the car. But if we can get that sort of out the house early, then I may have a good chance of getting that Neocaridina tank emptied and moved. And then it is literally just a case of getting everything out of here. I need to have a good sort out. I store stuff, I'm a hoarder, and once I've done that, then I think the idea will be that the air pipe here, this has dropped because I took some clips off it, but the air pipe here, what I'm looking to do is, I could probably do it off one without putting the T-piece in, but more or better, I'll cut into that there, drop a T-piece down, we'll move the air pump down underneath this rack when it's against the wall, and then what I'll do is I'll put another piece over. I need to find a way of supporting that, but I'll probably do this again and just strap that to the racking. I'm going to go lower because I want to cut this rack. I want to cut this rack down to that height, and the idea is I want the Dart Frog tanks on top to be the same height as this tank. So the sort of eye level, and that is literally, well, my eyes are here at the moment, so looking down onto it and getting a good view of the tank. And in order to do that, although they're 45 by 45, there's a lip on them, and unless I cut that lip, what happens is I can't fit them inside those uprights, so I do need to cut the uprights down a little bit, which is a shame, but it is what it is, and we'll sort of crack on. So I'm trying a new food here. I've not used it before, and these were fed earlier. So this is SL Aqua meat, that I've not used yet, but they're all, I mean, these are grazing because they're in the new tank, but they're all over that. And this tank did have a few snails in, and I have put in some of the snail killer to the correct dosage, so I'll keep an eye on that, see how that goes as well. But I don't know if I'm going to get the rest of this done before Sunday's video. I'm hoping to, and if I have, it'll be a full video of the complete thing. But if I haven't, I'll update. I might cut there and see if we can do another part to this, sort of the final part of it next week or the week after or something. But I've just got loads to do, and videoing takes time and editing takes time. So if I'm finishing now, I'll catch you later. If I'm not, stay tuned. Rack 3 is finally empty. Next steps, strip down the rack, sort out all the rubbish underneath it. There's quite a bit to chuck. I might put some stuff on groups. I need to sort out the airline, move the air pump, and then we'll start stripping down the rack behind. But that is going to be it for this week. So stay tuned for the next episode where we should have everything done. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. If you're regular here, don't forget to like and comment, and I'll see you all on the next video.